Yeah, let's get back to it here. That is actually kind of surprising. I am interested in that this is so much stronger for just a couple new materials. Because that's the same rotor, like all the parts are the same, it's just the rotor holder. And yet twice as efficient. The only question will be how much, if the steam can hold up. But that should fill that a lot faster. Let's see, if we call this well, this is 3¼ amps, really about. So yeah, that should work. I just might need to change up another battery box over there. If I need more throughput, I can actually get another output up here. If that becomes an issue, but I don't think it's going to. How fast this is running. The more efficiency I squeeze out of this, the better this loop becomes. Because power is a big thing. Because the more power I can squeeze out of the steam, the less uranium I actually need for this to run. Means the more uranium I have to run this loop, the more power I have to run means the more matter I can produce, and then change back. Yeah, that seems like a pretty decent setup. Just trying to figure out this max, the max throughput here, and then I'm going to actually build the real AE system, get everything up and running. I'm planning on this tower going all the way from build height to bedrock. And then maybe punching more in as I need them. Because I could easily expand this out by another couple. And straight through the dungeon. It's just for every 3x3 I need a peace candle. Damn, wasn't far enough. I was trying to see if I could make it hit the cactus. But yeah, I have a extra 1,756 odd uranium hexafluoride to run this thing on. Just need to figure out which way I need to run this loop, make it stable, because that's the problem I'm having right now. Either I'm running it to make matter or I'm running it to make fuel. I need to find a balance. And I think that's just the balance is making two sides to the system. So have some of this make fuel and then some of this make matter. Because like I said, if my math is right, this is a 20x system. I get 20 times the matter with this loop that I put in. At least 20 times, not counting the fluorine. And like only a sliver of that matter needs to go towards fuel to run this thing so far. But that's only because I haven't pushed this to its limit. That's kind of what I'm trying to get right now is how many of these can I run, get that thing close to its limit. Rotor holders. I want them to get done before this next cooldown cycle. Which is still a little ways off, but that can be replicated as is. It's a little much, but not bad. Oh, no, there is a turbine. These had to be double plates. Oh, this version they only have to be single plates. Ooh. 140, 205. Better. Yes. Take a lot though. But those take 10 plates and 2 screws, so that's fourth. Oh, and you have to make them in the form because they aren't double plates. That's okay. Which to these? I would definitely be pushing probably the 4. Oh yeah, no, that's gonna be over the 4 amp dynamo. Question is there, do I try to build this with two 4 amp dynamos? Or do I go try to make the IV hatch? IV energy hatch. Or dynamo hatch. Apex. So it's the same thing except tungsten spring. I mean, for now it's a nice upgrade. Then when I do the rotor upgrade and do the Power plug upgrade. That'll be the next big leap. Interesting. I didn't think this alloy was going to be such a game changer. I could just switch this out. Because I was only making this to make the alloy for the rotors, but if I'm switching to the other type of alloy, I could just make the alloy itself. I love when I find little things like this that makes a huge difference. This is what actually gives me excitement in a pack. Something that's technically undocumented just because it's so obscure. Like, the only reason this is undocumented is because these multi-block machines are such a hodgepodge of different parts. Like, there's no... Besides the main block, the casing, and the internal, like, steel gear things, the rest of this is all just modular. I'm using the nice AE ports to really push steam in and out. And the rotor holders and the dynamos are what really determine what the power factor is. Rotor holders, rotors, and dynamos. So all the rest is just seen as case, and then. And here I'm wondering why people shy away from these. Because a lot of the documentation I saw said, "Oh, don't use these. You'll keep having to replace rotors all the time." You're at such a power factor that you're above what you're needing it for. Like, once you have one of these power switches set up, yeah, I'm gonna have to replace these like maybe every couple streams, depending on how much power I'm using. Maybe even a couple times a stream. I'm still probably gonna be fine with that. As long as I can do it without too much disturbance, and that's where these ones should be coming in. Is the whole point of going back to turbo steam turbines is kind of emergency power. If somehow I don't come back and change out all the turbines, it will be enough power to keep enough stuff running that is essential. And I'll have to formulate that, which some of what I've learned here I think does. Tell me exactly how to build that up. These are actually about to switch over. It's only a couple power. Getting close. Got 2 more levels. New stuff to make. There. Because that's the thing. Switch that over. I can pull out this last one. There. Because when you actually look at it, production is twice the input in every way. So for every second one of these is producing is exactly the same no matter what it's producing. The conversion is It takes 30 seconds for every liter of mana you're breaking down and 60 seconds for every liter of mana you're building up. That's why it's literally 2 to 1. Or, wait, do I have that backwards? Did I just say it exactly backwards? No, I'm right. It's 60 seconds for every liter. Wait, can you take this apart? Yeah, and it's 30 seconds for every liter the other way. Interesting. I threw... Because I think this chance is based on how fast you can cycle. So could I just have one producer and 2 deconstructions making hydrogen? No. Sorry, 2 producers, 1 deconstructor. Search of primal matter dust. And just give it like a stack or a tank of hydrogen to start with. Interesting. Just hunt for little piles of the dust. Trying to get the last one out of here so it will switch over. Because this one's going to take longer. What did this take at base? 5,700. Oh, it's not going to take that much more. Only like an extra 100 seconds, or extra 100 seconds. Way too long. Okay. Yes, this is switched off. Almost cooled down. Do I have any of them done? No. Thank you. Thank you, system. Now I can switch them out. Because they're not rotating at all. There we go. Yeah, I still haven't made the huge pipes. Not 100% my concern right now. Yeah, it's just taking so long. I'd have to wait a couple cycles before I can put the new rotor holders in. Perhaps a whole nother thing that I need to work on. Fill up pretty good. Okay, so right now I have 3 of these producing me enriched, which then makes me 235. Is it 230? I already mixed up all my numbers. No, it's 235. It makes me 235, which then makes me 4 uranium hexafluoride. Which right now I'm turning into 4 uranium 238. Start the process all over again. And since 235 and 238 are comparable matter-wise, I'm making 4 times. Plus a little extra. Then what was the other thing? 4 times plus a little extra, and then every 10th I get an extra one free. Not to really blew it out of the water. Double checking my math in my head. Because it's processed to 4. But it's actually like 4 times 4 times 9/10 back. Because this splits it 900 millibuckets going this way and 100 millibuckets going this way. But every time this gets 1,000, it makes another 4. It's turned to 238 times 4 plus the fluoride. Oh, that's the thing. So if I was just making 235 into 238, that would be one thing. But because I'm making the fluid version, which takes less matter, and then I'm turning it into a dust. So I pretty much found a discounted way of making 235 dust. That's what this loop is. There's my math. And I think the fluid is like 4 times cheaper. So then you take that like 4-ish, 4 times there, and then times it by another 4. Ah, such dumb math. But it's the math I like. Because one value is just cheaper when you apply the application of power production. Because the thing is, I'm doing all this math without any regard for how much power I have to dump into this thing. As long as I can dump enough power to make it cycle, that's all I care about. And I can definitely dump enough power to make it cycle. Yeah, the only thing I'm still debating about changing is whether this needs such a big uranium hexafluoride gas. Storage. But what I could do is use a level emitter. So that probably is the way I should do it. So have this system set up and have it just set to a level. So when this has like 2000 hexafluoride, then it shunts it to the matter production. Again, this thing sips hexafluoride. Is this what takes 10 millibuckets to produce a bunch of steam? Oh yeah, each process is like one of... Okay, so every time that process is, I'm basically filling one of these. How fast can this currently process? What's that? That's 10 ticks? 10 ticks a second. Yeah, half a second, 10 ticks. How fast is this one running? Oh, this is a sixth for 10 ticks. Okay, so I can run 7 of these? About 6 or 7 at this new power factor. Okay, so that's the conversion probably. Unless there's something weird. Sorry, just running up through all the math here again, just to double check that I wasn't crazy the first time. Yeah, but the matter production is literally 16 times what I put in. That still just floors me that that conversion exists. Yeah, so for each one of these I'm running, I can technically run 16 scrappers, about, which then could run... So if you take away the 2 for this, that can run another 7 matter producers. Yeah, the wider I make this loop, for every additional matter replicator I put in the loop for enriched uranium hexafluoride, I can run 7 other matter replicators of other things. And it's all just how much power I can put in the system. And the only limiting thing that really hampers me is these things. Because right now I can only produce 2 of these reactors. But if I'm right, so if we call this, what, 6 1/4? 6 1/4 amps? EV? So each of those reactors can do 37.5 amps just by quick math. Over 2 of these battery buffers. That's really nice. Now I just gotta build a power system that can actually handle that. "37 machines. So if I'm saying this correctly, so if one of these can run 16 of the others, so that's 17, plus another 7 for 7.5, or sorry, bleh, 1.5. But even 1 is pretty good. Well, I'm not counting the other ones. So what I need, currently I'm running 1, 2, 5, 7 extra machines. Yeah, that kind of makes up for the other part. Really, it's going to depend on the second one of these reactors. I need to push this one to its limit, then copy the whole system over. That get me for like, look at this again. So 37.5 divided by 4, 9.37. So let's just call it 9 amps. 9 amps IV. That's pretty decent. That gets me up to 1 amp. Well, no, that gets me up to 2 amps LUV if converted. And that's just on the current turbine power factor, not even counting what I could do for IV turbines. With the better turbine fan, the better dynamo. Definitely getting the power I wanted. That's the best thing. It's almost empty. Okay, these are almost going to kick back on. I didn't even get one new rotor holder put in. Sad. How much will this... Okay. I just want to double check the table math on how many of these I need to run. Okay, so that's a... Four per, right? Be using the better recipe. Or no, they're the same. Because that's... Yeah, it's not a better recipe, it's just a different recipe. So yeah, an ingot makes 8 screws. So that's a fourth. So this is, for each blade, it's 10 and a fourth. 10.25. To make a rotor, I need 8 blades. Currently, it takes... call it 1.5k seconds. That's not good math. Unless I'm completely wrong, that's 8.5 days for a full replacement set of 6. For every one of these I'm running. Because to replace the whole fleet, I need almost 500 ingots. If I have 6 turbines. Make the turbines this way. Chrome. It takes just about the same amount to make the 2 molly to make one, or to make 1 molly to make one of these. Steel is basically free. Chrome is basically free. Then it would just be the vanadium and the tungsten. Vanadium's kind of fast. No, tungsten's way slower. This is actually way faster. Making the alloy. So I devoted all 7 making this alloy. If I just had this loop making this alloy, it could work, but then I wouldn't have much in the way of extra matter to use, or I might have some, because I'm still not counting the fluoride. That's kind of an extra piece. And I could always run more. I think that will produce way more power than that loop's actually going to need. Trying to see how much jank I can pull out of this. Even if, okay, let's say generously the HSS rotors will last 2 days. That means at least I need 4 to 5 matter replicators by my math to reduce the time it takes to produce the amount of alloy needed to replace all 6. That would leave me with, so let's say I dedicate 5. That leaves me with 4 to mess with for other things. Because it will be good in the long run to overproduce. Because then I can use excess alloy for other stuff. Because I will need it to also produce more of these. I'll need it to produce the better coils for the blast furnaces. Yeah, I think that's the right way. So I'd need to run 5 of these. Like I said, I'm already way overproducing here. As is. Yeah, I think that's the math. Alright, so the current plan is to build up 6 of these with the IV build. But currently that's the old EV build. This is the new EV build, and then the IV build will be new hatches, new rotors with the new rotor holder. Yeah. Right now I got tons of ultimate laying around. Might as well just upgrade these to better rotors and use that for now. I won't even know till I get a new one set up how much power and everything it will produce. Kicks back on. Because even now I'm producing more power than I need to, but I'm not also producing all the matter I need to. Get more in here. But I'm already producing way more than I need to. Another USB stick. 2. I guess I only have those hooked up to liquid. I'm not going to need to extract from them currently. Yep, it's already full. And there, I have 3 running while I'm making more. It is nice if you're standing here, you can just kind of pass around a USB stick to start a bunch of them up. It sucks that it is nearly impossible to pull something from the input of one of these machines. Blur, large fire factor. I'm pretty much to these. I have to look into start, but there's a large version. Of the material. Figure out how to do like parallel on one of these things. Atomic casing. I have even access to this. What is this? I don't think. What is it? Nope, ZPM. Yep, nowhere near that. And I think this has to be done through... Can I... There it is. Trinium, Naquadria, carbon, neon gas. Yeah, so it actually needs to go through the blast smelter. A whole nother block I was debating on whether I needed. Titanium carbide, LA stuff. Cooper nickel, that's promising. Titanium, molybdenum, vanadium, Invar. Yeah, that's not awful. It's just weird steel. Yeah, dealing with more and more alloys is going to start to become an issue. So I'm going to have to come up with new forms of how to deal with them. And I think the alloy blast furnace is probably going to be my go-to. Second one. Yeah, you're second to produce. Once I get another one, I can make the third one. And I'll have at least 3 of these running. Think of 60. So I could actually have enough extra matter right now to run a couple of these. Making sure that's still going up. That'd be the worst thing, is just running out of power out of nowhere. And it just being because I'm not producing enough. The only thing I don't like that I'm seeing here is there isn't a matter replicator, a large matter replicator. Magnet, electrolysis, fractioning distillery. Yeah, because if I, from what I've seen, I'm not entirely sure, but I think from what I've seen in New Horizons, there's the large version and then there's the huge version, which is a whole step beyond these. Isn't in this pack. Because Greg Tech New Horizon is an insanity all its own. And because I'm running stuff that runs so long, I'm getting less rolls for this stuff. Primal matter. Which is a free 10 liters. God. Of each. So what's the conversion rate on that? To produce one 235, it would take 20 of those. 20 of these. So 180 tiny piles. Yeah, so it barely replaces a deconstructor by itself, getting those extra little piles. The main thing would be getting the amplifier. But that's scrapping. Medium steel. Vanadium steel, yeah. That's just that. Actually, I could get the really large scrapper. What sets it? All its hatches. Oh, slicing blades, that's here, secure, ration, xenon, or xeron. Yeah, that's the difference. Okay, the ones I need to look for is not this, it's the molten one. Because there's two different versions. Molten is what comes out of the alloy blast smelter, which is how you're supposed to make this stuff. Nickel, tungsten, niobium, cobalt, EV, RTM, blast furnace, smelter, tantalum carbide. carbon and tantalum. Think I can make this with the current tech? Freezer. Nickel. Oh. Is what I'm currently making, right? Yes. Okay, so technically I can make this. The extreme scrapper. But I'd have to be able to make multiple weird alloys in the blast smelter. That's something I might need to work towards. Well, that's... Oh, maybe not. I didn't realize this was the LUV version. Never mind, I do not have the ability to make this yet because that needs the next type of that stuff. I have it, but I need an IV mixer. I'm on the cusp of large machines. I have to deal with that. I have to deal with the assembly lines. Well, as soon as I get IV assemblers, I could actually probably... Well, no, IV assembler... Yeah, I might be able to get that. That gets me the Ender Dragon data module. Extra dragon eggs. More Ender chickens. I get to Aurelia. Aurelia. Yeah, I might have to look into making that. But we got to take another break here, and then we'll be back. Okay. Still haven't gotten a rotor holder yet. It's currently on the generation cycle. Okay. Not produced another one yet. There, I'm just going to start producing it again. Stop producing 238. Now I'll start filling this back up again. Sitting at durability. I mean, for like 24 hours of in-game running, that seems pretty good. Could almost, at my current clip, get about 2 days out of these things. That's at this build, not the new build. That actually, that frees up the math a bit more. I need to figure out how fast I draw them down. Okay, I need to stop poking at this until I get the next part. I won't get the new rotors quite yet. Not new rotors, but just more rotors. That's the thing that sucks is lesser alloys still require me to use just mixers. And I use the nice alloy blast smelter. These do take a while, but they produce what? Math on this. 1872. 44. Okay, 13 ingots. Yeah, that's exactly the same. Okay. And material replicates for so much cheaper. Take even that long. And you just run it back through. Hot ingot. Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, you need the alloy blast furnace to make it. But then you could either matter replicate it or just keep running it. Hmm. Have. Oh, a lot. It's going to be running for a bit longer. Titanium pipe casing, tempered glass, stress proof thing. Parallel controller. Yeah, I'll need to play around and figure out the parallel controller stuff. I mean, unless I do everything as fluids. I always find this is a funny thought experiment. How much... Let's say, what, a 64 stack of ingots. Is under 10 buckets. That's only 13 stacks in a 64K cell. I think solid can hold more. Depending on ingots. How many gears has it completed so far? 12. Definitely looking at ways to turn energy into actual production power. That'll be the next big hurdle I have. Because it's not just about getting to Aurelia. It's about everything else that comes after. So I gotta make sure I do all the rest of this stuff too. Aurelia's only a small puzzle piece. Make the collector crystal. That doesn't take too much. Think there's any way to... Yeah. There's any way I'm getting to infinity any way easier. Oh, unless I can get infinity eggs. I need a full chaos shard. Wait. Those. Yeah, this is the... Besides the key itself, this is the other big thing I need. Oh, and they come out as 10-10-10s. That's nice. And primal. Right now I'm missing... I mean, that's easy. Never mind. Stem cells are easy. The machine itself. So the assembly line. Make crystal clusters. Need to figure out neutronium. I need to figure out infinity. Awaken draconium. Charged. Oh, that needs the Sky Cauldron. Yeah, I can make that. That's not too hard. Flux, Eye of the Storm, Liquid Starlight, Eye of the Storm. It's just pristine thermal matter with Erothium. Not hard to do. Annoying thing here is the Dragon Hearts and the Dragon Stone. I mean, I can just go slay a bunch of dragons. As any dragons will do. 4 at a time. So what, that's 5 crafts. I need 5 Dragon Hearts and 5 Dragon Stone. Chromium is something I can only get once I get to Aurelia. Because I have to throw Ender Chickens into antimatter. That's that and that. 9 ingots per. Do not stand on my roof. While I'm looking at that. Okay, how am I going to produce a bunch of this? Chromium's my big issue. Diamond, empowered diamantine is also annoying. Need to be able to mass produce neutronium. I mean, the only annoying thing here is the primordial pearls. Still another star. Steel plates. More dragonstone. But it doesn't make 4. So I only need to make 9. 9 crafts. Because if I need 4 blocks, that's 4 times 9. Yeah. So I need to make this 9 times over. That's not as awful. Make that, make 4 blocks. Really just comes down to the chaos shard and how much and making enough neutronium. I can already make these. These are cheap. These are annoying to automate. Flux I've already got automated pretty much. Enderium glass. Not hard. Construct. Because I'll need another 7 primordial pearls currently. And once I have the infinity chicken, really only need the 1. Because then the eggs turn into molten infinity. Chinaquita. Red matter. Oh, that's a wither skull. Or wither soul. Yeah. A little bit of uranium or liquid antimatter plus infinity egg. Draconium. And if I just need more chickens, that makes awaken Draconium. Yeah, so this is the first craft I should make with Infinity. That's what I need to push towards. No. Okay, so that's the big milestone after getting to Aurelia. Is working towards this chicken. Yeah, and I basically have to be done with data match pick. Yeah, the assembly line. Wait, ZPM tier circuits need ZPM tier. Or no, that's the good one. What's the low one need? ZPM. Quantum processor mainframe. Okay, these only need IV, which is LUV. I need to be able to make this LUV circuit so to make that. Once I make that, I can then make the assembly line. Yeah. So push towards Aurelia, push towards Infinity Chicken. LUV also. LUV. Yeah, they need the same thing. Yeah, they're exactly the same. Okay. Or no, that's the rotary blast furnace. I was looking at the alloy smelter. Alloy blast smelting. Which still needs the same. It still needs RTM alloys, alloy coils, which it needs even more. Yeah, it's just better to get the power for this thing. The assembler. Something I need to work on. Really, that's my next major hurdle for all this. For that, I need to figure out both the robot arms. They make the robot arms. Let's get this set up. Need to get away from all the tick lag over here. Now if I try to order one, it should claim that it can't make called, yeah, Elite, oh, IT, Elite Assembly Machine. Okay, it is only the conveyor modules. I think it's a difference. I just want to do the recipe version. How am I going to slam more recipes in here? Go all the way to the back wall. And then I think the system just needs silicone rubber. Sheets. My sheet former. Teach it silicone rubber, right? Yeah, LUV. Good. This is AFS01. This is silicone rubber. Or, right? Or she, yep. Lead assembly machine. Or assembling machine. Don't think I'm going to be fighting for a little bit. That's going to take a little while because it's got to make it's got to make even more tungsteel and tungsten. But with that assembly machine, I need the chemical reactor, which is what I needed this for. Of signalium wire. Did I leave one? Yeah, okay, never mind. This will finally be huge pipe. Get that chemical reactor I need. Huge polyethylene. Huge polyethylene. It needs 12 ingots. The only thing stopping me from being able to order a chemical reactor. I'm going to need more than one, so definitely need to have the system make them for me. I need the chemical reactor for these things. Liquid vanadium gallium and indium gallium phosphide. Indium gallium phosphorus dust. I have a little bit of indium. And then vanadium gallium. And of course you can't melt it from its powder state because that would break actually having to make it. EV, RTM, so I can currently make it. Then I have to make it into an ingot. Then I have to HV extractor recycle. It only needs 2 ingots per. Too awful. And I can make that. I can make this. I just got to set up the iridium for wire production. Get IV hatches. Get to Aurelia. What does this currently do? Or 32K. Take. It only takes 3 times as much. That rig should be able to handle it. Upgrade needed there. Gets me that, and then with that I can start working towards this. Bases, everything hinges on hung steel. Speed it up with helium. But then I'd have to build a second one of these setups. Sorry, definitely gotten to the point where the streams take just as much thinking as they take building. Build back up so I don't have to worry about my armor. I mean, that's another thing I could work on, is just blinging out my armor with more enchantments. Probably harvest all this stuff. Basically, yet I do need to get working on the Essentia stuff. Put in all this work. Built this entire Essentia sorting system. I wanted it completely full. That's full. put it all in here. There. Put the Elven spreaders white bag. Can I control where this is pointing? There we go. Have it in the right mode. Yeah. Just get those filled back up in case I need to open the portal again to get more stuff. At some point I'll maybe try to automate it. Better ways to make petals. Top. Never did like the talc recipe for lubricant. Make it from seed oil later. Trying to see if there's anything else I can think of to plan ahead. Chaos. I gotta fight at least one Chaos Dragon, if not multiple. Wyvern core. Like the Wyvern boots. Sorry, a lot of big plans, and I got to try to make sure they'll fit. Kind of been a rough week for me to start with. uh, Powerful armor from sorcery called stars. Different variants exist depending on how you tune items or tune them. And the wearer's strong effects. It is complete protection. Chaos damage. For you. He is the Chaos Dragon. Problem is that does destroy the creative flight. Currently have with the glitch setup. All damage. Basically, I need a whole nother set to fight the Chaos Dragon. Could disenchant. Could disenchant the extra stuff off here. Sounds. A reinforced light. And distiller. There. There it is. Gripping. Crystal for second soul. Soul. Lending. Soul. Door. High altar. Power. Interdiction. Siphoning. Soul. Oh, which one it was. Has a list of rituals. Unmaking. I need 40 runes. Have need 30-ish times 4. Not gonna like that. Let's see if I can just stack. Best, you should be able to make an infinite amount. It's with me. Because you should have access to infinite liquid nightmare. Teach you how to make it. I put so much in the system. Yeah, looks good. I have a nugget fluid solidifier over here, and if or no, that's an alex. Oh, maybe I just never put together the fluid solidifier. Okay. Even though I could probably throw a basic one in here and it would be just fine. I'd rather get a nicer one. Older. Get this out. Figure Alright, I have a little more space to work with. Yeah, if I set up this ritual again, then I can start stripping enchantments off of stuff that I put on with the mana enchanter. Technically duplicate. It's just spend a little while trying to get the most powerful enchantments I can. Putting them on all my stuff. I do need to take a break here. This time I'm on time. I'll be back.